What's up? I'm B and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about things that we are leaving behind in 2020. Things that we will not miss. We are not carrying them with us into 2021. They can just stay where they are and stay behind because we don't need them. Before we get into that though, I do just have a bit of housekeeping. If you are not a regular viewer of my channel, you can feel free to go ahead and skip right through it. I will put a bookmark down below. But for those of you who typically watch me, are subscribed, and hang out with me on a regular basis, I just want to keep you informed and give you a heads up about what you can expect over the next few weeks. Okay, so now that it's just our little family here, we can speak openly. Something is going to be happening over the next few weeks that is kind of going to be causing some unpredictability in my schedule. Now, this thing is not something that I can openly speak about just quite yet, so I'll kind of leave it at that, but I am really excited for the time when I can actually openly discuss it with you guys because it's something related to my personal life, and I can already predict how a good number of you are going to react, and I'll be excited to see your reactions, and I know you're going to be incredibly supportive when I actually speak about it, so I'm excited to do that, but I can't do it just yet. In any case, what this means is that I do not know what my uploading schedule or my live streaming schedule is going to look like. Typically, we keep it Tuesday, Thursday, either a video or a live stream at 4:30 p.m. MST. I cannot make any promises on anything. I can set you up for the expectation that live streams most likely are going to be extremely limited if I post any at all. I will not have a ton of time to dig into any sort of complex drama, things that I would normally only speak about if I had a really detailed timeline or outline laid out. So I don't anticipate having much time to speak about things like that over the next few weeks, which means any videos I post are probably just going to be a little bit more lighthearted, fun, reaction style videos, maybe trying out some new things. So that's just kind of what you can expect. I hope that within a few weeks I can get back to a more regular schedule, even if it's not quite the same as it was before. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, welcome everyone. We are all together again, those of us that stayed to listen to the announcement and those of us who skipped right through. We're all convened together. And let's go ahead and talk about 6 things that we are leaving behind in 2020. The first thing is, the first 2 are serious, and then the other ones are a little bit more kind of fun and jokey. First 2 things, serious though, so that's why I wanted to say them first. Number 1, making an excessive amount of self-deprecating jokes. We're leaving it behind in 2020. Honestly, I love a good self-deprecating joke. I think they're hilarious, and if you can't laugh at yourself, like, how good is your sense of humor? But at the same time, I think there's a difference between making a one-time joke or doing something like using humor to deal with trauma, and there's another in doing the thing that kind of Tana Mojo does, where she always talks about how she's trash, where it becomes kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, where the more you talk negatively about yourself or make jokes at your own expense, the more likely I feel like you are to believe them and to have those words sort of impact the way that you feel about yourself. So, like I said, a joke at your own expense every now and then, hilarious. Using humor to deal with traumatic experiences, totally understandable and a great way to help you process big emotions like that. But when it's constantly just tearing yourself down for the sake of having others laugh, you're taking it a step too far. It kind of reminds me also of Gabby Hanna making merch over the TikToks where everyone was doing like the high school bullies, how she made merch out of that. I'm like, you don't gotta play along. If that was a hard time for you and you felt really, really bad in that moment and it hurts you that people are making fun of that, it's okay not to be a good sport. It's okay to not laugh at that. You don't have to make jokes at your own expense so that people will like you. That's all I'm saying. all I'm saying. All right, number 2. Another thing that we are kicking to the curb before we hit 2021 is ignoring our mental health. We're all guilty of it. We all try to stuff things down because it's hard to process, or we don't reach out and ask for help for whatever reason because whether you feel embarrassed, whether you feel like a burden, whether you don't want people to know what you're going through, there could be a million reasons to not ask for help or to not seek help. But I want to let you know, you are worth it. You are worth treating yourself well. You are worth getting help for whatever it is you might need help with. You are worth living a happy and fulfilled and satisfying and joyful life. And if you are not taking care of your mental health, I've been guilty of it too. I literally talked about it in a blog where I'd just been kind of bypassing my mental health for a little bit. I was getting very distracted and not taking it very seriously, not making it a priority because I was so kind of down in the dumps about the whole year of 2020. I was just not taking time to make myself a priority, make having some quiet time for myself something that was important to me, and it is important to me. And when I started doing that again, I felt so much better. So whether it is needing to take 10 minutes to sit outside in the sun, whether it is needing to take an Epsom salt bath once a week, if that's what you like, whether it is eating more home-cooked meals because they make you feel better than when you eat out all the time, or even going to therapy, whatever it is that is going to help contribute to your best mental health, do it, because you are worth it. All right, now that we've gotten to number 3, let's roast some people. Number 3, please, for the love of God, can we not bring family vlogging channels with us into 2021? They're the worst. Like, they're literally just the worst because we don't know how vlogging will impact these kids long term, growing up on camera, growing up with people knowing your face and all of the most intimate parts of potty training, puberty, first boyfriend, first girlfriend, how you get punished, all those things. I cannot imagine that the internet having access to all of that information about you can result in anything good. I really can't. Plus, there are no laws to regulate how long kids can work, how long you have to let them rest for, if there's a way to financially handle their money. There are no laws for this. And so parents are using their kids to gain hundreds of thousands, if not millions of subscribers, to gain wealth, to gain fame, and it's not really the best thing for their kids. And we've seen people getting more and more outrageous in their attempts to keep their family vlogging channels alive and thriving. So let's just all collectively agree. I know most of us probably don't watch these channels in the first place, but if we know anybody who does, maybe bring up some of these points to them. Say, are you sure that this is the kind of content you want to support? Are you sure about it? Because I don't think there's a problem if somebody is talking about like parenting hacks or, school lunch hacks, stuff like that. I think that stuff's pretty cute. And if the kid shows up occasionally, super cute, totally fine. But when you're building your whole channel on your kid and like the only way that you get views and the only way you get money is if your kid is in frame, that's a problem. I don't like it. All right, number 4. This one hurts because I'm kind of calling myself out on it. Overly petty reaction channels. We should not take them into 2021 with us. I know I have to hold myself accountable. I have to make sure that my actions reflect this sentiment. And it is a little bit difficult if I'm being honest, because for me, I don't know what your experience is, but for me, I feel like reaction videos of people that I like are something very easy to listen to because I already know the format going into it. I know how the video's gonna go. And number 2, they make so much content. A lot of reaction channels will react to multiple videos per week. So there's typically something new from them that you can watch. And so in my experience, one example is that for a decent amount of time, I have been watching a channel called Young Dumb Honey Bun. And if you don't know, she does reactions to mostly Amberlyn Reed. Has she done Chantal? Amberlyn, 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 got me Hannah, Amberlyn. Okay, so she's done like one video on Chantal. This kind of proves my point though, because the majority of her videos are about Amberlyn Reed. And I do think that she makes good points sometimes. I find her videos very pleasant to listen to. But she was doing reactions to Vlogmas, and it got to a point where I was listening to this, and I was like, this seems so nitpicky. Like this criticism seems so petty. Long story short, Becky was doing 25 days of earrings for Amberlyn, and she was like, you're not going to put those earrings on right now because you don't like them. You think they're ugly. If you like them, you would wear them. Who cares? They're earrings. Like, why do you care if she puts them on right away? So it's just nitpicky, petty stuff like that. And first and foremost, I think it kind of makes for bad content because, yeah, it does provide value in the way that for me it's just something easy to put on and listen to. And so that is valuable in a way. But at the same time, I think if you're really paying attention to what's being said, it puts you in this hypercritical mindset where you are looking for things to be upset about. And let's just be real. Sometimes vlogs from Amberlyn Reed are just vlogs, and there's really not anything super interesting to say about it. So you have to find something to criticize, otherwise your audience isn't going to like it. Plus, I do think I kind of have a problem with people who only react to the same one or two people. Yes, in my mind I have people who only react to Amberlyn Reed or Foodie Beauty because there are several channels who those two girls are their main focus. And honestly, it does seem quite odd to me. I get that they're both kind of fascinating people, and I have been known to watch reactions to both of them. But I feel like there's just something wrong with dedicating your entire channel to calling them out, when, if we are being completely honest, from what I've seen, especially with Chantal, I don't think she's a super kind person. I don't know that I would be her friend if we met in real life, but at the same time, I don't know. It's not like she's going out and stealing from people. It's not like she's scamming anybody. Her actions are kind of unpredictable and out there sometimes, but you know, people want to come and say like, well, she's killing herself with food, we need to talk about it. But I don't necessarily know that I agree. Obviously, I think that, you know, if you see harm being done to somebody, you should speak about it, you should speak up. But if that person is doing the harm to themselves and they don't want to change, you can't pick at them until they do, because they're just going to be resentful. And so the dynamic of only having one or two people that you react to, and that's the whole basis of your channel, just doesn't sit right with me. And really, I'm happy that Zachary Michael switched up how he runs his channel, because for a while he was kind of falling into that trap as well. And so now he's making a concerted effort to give some more variations in there, to do reactions to other channels, to, you know, bring back, oh, making these meals, making these recipes that our girls are eating. I think those are more interesting and make for better content. But of course, that is just a personal preference, although I would like to see some of these reaction channels continue to switch it up into 2021. Number 5, supporting influencers that we love to hate. And this is more from an audience member perspective, because I can kind of see both the content creator side as well as the audience member side. So this is coming more from the perspective of an audience member, because there are definitely certain influencers who we've seen this pattern of behavior from people. We know where their integrity stands, we know where their morals lie, and we know that they're the kind of people that really don't deserve our support. And yet, sometimes it is so very tempting to continue to follow them on Twitter or Instagram or watch their YouTube videos because maybe they are insanely problematic, but they're entertaining. And so I definitely think in 2021, it would be so great if we could pay attention to who we like and who, I mean, this is like, I don't know, the Pollyanna in me being like, who do we think is nice? what influencers do we think are kind, and how can we lift them up and pay more attention to them as opposed to the people who cause problems on purpose and don't care who they hurt and don't care if they're partying in a pandemic, because there are way better people that we can look up to and celebrate and spend our time focusing on as opposed to Trisha Paytas, Jake Paul, Tana Mojo, that whole crew. So I would love to see it. I would love to see us not continue to support problematic influencers or the influencers that we love to hate by following them and consuming their content. This last one is the one that I take the most personally because I was almost swindled. I came this close to being swindled by somebody like this. And so I carry that around with me every day, like a boulder on my shoulder, dragging me down into the pits of hell. That was dramatic. This bothers me. Let's leave influencer masterclasses in 2020. I don't want to see them in 2021. I don't want to get taught how to be a social media influencer by somebody who could not become a social media influencer until they taught classes promising to teach you how to become a social media influencer. I don't want to do it. I don't want to take classes from people who promise to teach you how to manifest the most amazing, dreamy, incredible, abundance-filled life that you could ever imagine after they've only achieved wealth, abundance, financial freedom, fame, from teaching classes, teaching you how to achieve those things. Those people who say, if you're in the manifestation community, you might know who I'm talking about. And I am sure she is a very, very kind and sweet person. And this isn't a personal attack on her, but I have sincere doubts about the integrity of her business. Just an example, somebody who says, I was so miserable. I was living on a family member's couch in LA. I was making less than minimum wage. I had everything was going wrong. Everything was miserable. And then I started my manifestation business, and after a few months of that, I had a massive launch. And that gave me the wealth to quit my job. Because I get it. If you're like deep in the pudding of manifestation, you can say, well, like, she took inspired action and she manifested her dream life by starting her manifestation business. Like, she had a goal, she had something that she wanted, and she did it, and now she achieved her goal. I understand how that logic can work. But at the same time, what do you say to somebody who doesn't want to start their own business? How do you coach somebody in a 9-to-5? You can't, because you were miserable in your 9-to-5 and you tell us that all the time. That it was miserable, that it was hard, that it was not fun. So I don't know how you expect to teach other people how to have the life of their dreams without telling them to start teaching manifestation classes. I don't know. But if you have the answer, feel free to inform me down in the comments. And also let me know what you would like to leave behind in 2020, something you are not bringing with you that you are kicking to the curb. And while you are doing that, if you would consider liking this video or subscribing to my channel, that would be incredible. If you have subscribed already, thank you so much. I am so appreciative of you, and I love being able to just sit here, hang out with you, and talk about whatever. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please be kind to people, and I will see you in the new year. Bye.